Welcome, everyone. We are going to do a little bit of movement and grounding. We're going to do some energizing breathing practices and some still meditation today. So find yourself a comfortable seat. It might be on the floor or a mat. It might be on a chair or a bed. You can also recline. That's totally up to you. It all works. And we'll just arrive in our body and just feel into the various parts. We'll do a real quick body scan, just assessing, do I feel okay, or do I feel something here that I need to be mindful of? So just starting with the top of the head and down the neck, the jaw, and the shoulders, the left and the right arms, the torso, the hips, the upper legs, the lower legs, and the feet. And just kind of getting all those body parts, feeling into them, knowing where they are in space. And if you can do something to make yourself a little more comfortable, so wiggling around or moving a little bit or stretching a little bit, feel free to always do what you need to do to make yourself a little bit more comfortable. Mindfully moving into a more comfortable position is always preferable to just sticking it out or tolerating being in discomfort. So we'll start with a little bit of movement. So if you like, you can put your hands on your shoulders, and if that doesn't feel great, you can keep your hands by your sides or in your lap, and we're going to breathe and move side to side. So it kind of looks like this: inhaling and exhaling, in and out. And you can move as quickly or as slowly as feels good in your body. So it might look like this. Or that might feel unsettling in your body. So you might move a little slower. But we'll do 10 or 15 reps of this movement, twisting and breathing, connecting the body to the breath, connecting the breath with the body, keeping the eyes opening and looking around you, which can be a little bit of a challenge. So if it's making you dizzy or anything, slow down a little bit. We want to feel comfortable, like we want to do this. And when you've gotten to between 10 and 15 breaths, we'll come back to our nice neutral tall spine. You might feel your heartbeat increasing. You might feel that you're taking in more air than usual. That's all good. Just notice it. And we'll take a big breath in together. And let it go with a sigh out the mouth. And then 2 more like this. Inhaling and letting it all go. And 1 more. Let the breath return to normal. We'll do a few more mindful movements, starting with the shoulders, bring them up, bring the scapula together, bring the shoulder blades down the spine as far as you can, and mindfully doing that again, bringing the shoulders up, up, up towards the ears, back, bring the shoulder blades together, and then as far down the back as possible. We'll do 2 more in this direction. Really slowing it down, much slower than you're capable of. And then we'll do the opposite, bringing the shoulder blades together and then up the back and forward and down, really feeling that back coming together and opening up. Bring the shoulder blades together, keeping them together as the shoulders come up and forward and down, feeling the spread of the upper back as it opens up. We'll do 2 more in this direction. Great. And then I'll invite you to shake it out. Roll the wrists if that feels good. You can either interlock all 10 fingers, or you can do this independently, each wrist separately, up to you. And if you feel any pops or clicks, that's fine, as long as there's no pain. If you experience any pain at all during the session, slow down, back it up, come back in mindfully and a little bit less so that you're feeling good about everything. All right. And then I'll invite you to do some yawning. So sometimes we think of yawning, oh, that must mean I'm really tired, but it can also be really energizing to yawn. So make it loud, make it audible. You can change the pitch or the tone. Maybe a lower yawn or a higher yawn. Wiggling the jaw left and right. Maybe chewing like a camel. And again, you might feel like some little pops or clicks in your jaw. That's also fine, as long as there's no pain. And then feel free to wiggle, move, stretch, adjust in whatever way would feel nourishing to your body. So maybe it's some cat-cows or some hip circles. Maybe your body would really like to stretch more in the arms and shoulders. But all of this is suggestions. The idea is that you listen to what your body wants and then try to give your body exactly that. And it might be that you're already feeling, I'm good. I feel like I can rest and relax and close my eyes. But sometimes there's, some kind of energy moving through the body, and we need to notice that and expel that and move. And moving is often quite a radical thing to do, especially if we don't move exactly in the way we want to. There are certain ways in which we are, quote unquote, allowed to move in public. And so right now you have this opportunity to move with as big as you want to move, as wild as you want to move, as much or as little as you want to move. And that is, something of a privilege. So once you feel like, all right, I've moved, I feel good, my body is loosened up a little bit, then we'll come into a more settled, quiet posture. So if you're in a chair, you might want to scoot back if it feels better to have something against the low back. If you're sitting on the ground, you might want to put something under the hips if that feels better to have your hips a little higher than your knees. Whatever you need to do, make yourself as comfortable as possible. Put on or take off a layer. If you're holding tension somewhere, see if you can melt the muscles even just a little bit and say, oh, I can relax. I can let that go. I am safe. Whatever you can tell yourself to allow the muscles to just be a little less intensely turned on. And then if you like, you can close your eyes. And if that's not going to work for you today, lower your gaze, find a drishti, find a point of focus. And then we'll go through our body scan again a little bit slower. but this time with the idea that if there is tension, we will give ourselves permission to relax it. And we can't always completely relax, even if we're aware of the tension, but we can usually reduce the tension by, a little bit. We can acknowledge it and then we can ease a little bit. I like to tell myself, okay, become water, as if you are melting, trickling like a little stream and letting the muscles just hang on the bones rather than grip them so tightly. So if that metaphor works for you, feel free to borrow it. Starting with the top of the head. And then coming down the back of the head to the back of the neck. And you might observe where the head is in relation to the spine. It's pretty common to jut the chin forward, so maybe you tuck it back an inch or two so there's less strain on the neck muscles and the bones can do the work. And then feel into the shoulders and let them relax. Let your arms be super heavy. Elbows, wrists, hands. Sometimes the hands close and we don't even realize it, so let them be open. You can have them palms face up on your lap or beside you. That can be really energizing, be as this idea of I'm going to take in energy, I'm going to receive whatever the universe is bringing my way. And then we'll come into the heart space, observing how it feels in the chest. Sometimes the shoulders round forward, so thinking about opening the chest, bringing the sternum up towards the ceiling. And then down into the belly. Maybe you bring the breath with you into the belly, letting the belly rise on the inhale, sink on the exhale. Bringing the attention to the back. The thoracic spine between the shoulder blades all the way down to the lumbar spine, that curve in the low back. And then thinking about where your hips are. And if that's comfortable, and maybe you tip a little bit in one direction or the other direction until you find a position where your hips feel the most comfortable. Bringing the attention to the tops of the legs, thighs and the hamstrings, the knees, the calves, the ankles, and finally the feet, and thinking about spreading the toes wide, even if the feet don't actually move, just thinking about this idea that the toes can take up space, that they don't have to be smushed together, that they can be wide and relaxed. And then if you'd like to set an intention, now is a great time to do it. Can be the first thing that comes to you is usually the right thing for today. I'm going to use I listen to my body. If you'd like to borrow that intention, feel free. But if something else has come to you, use that. And we'll recite our intentions 3 times. You can either say it out loud or you can say it quietly in your head. I listen to my body. I listen to my body. I listen to my body. And let the universe help conspire to make it so. And I'll invite you to join me in a breathing practice Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the teeth like a SH shh kind of sound. Inhaling. This time we'll do a long one. Inhaling again, and this time we'll do rapid little short shushes. Shh, 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 shh. Inhaling. We'll do 2 medium shushes. Shh, shh. And then you choose out of those 3. Maybe it felt good in your body to do a long shh or the short, quick shh, especially if you're involving the diaphragm, getting the stomach involved. Or maybe the medium pace felt good in your body. But think about how it feels, and we'll do a couple more rounds like this. Shh, 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 shh. One more breath, in through the nose, out with an SH sound. Let it carry on and carry on and carry on. Let the belly button come closer to the spine until you are totally out of air. And if you like, you can hold the breath out here and let yourself remain calm while the breath is held. Letting the shoulders remain calm, letting your mind remain calm. And then when you can no longer remain calm, when that hunger for air, for that oxygen CO2 exchange becomes quite intense, take a nice, slow, nourishing breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Bringing the heart rate down if it's gotten a little bit fast. Feeling into your body and relaxing any areas that may have become tense. Possibly revisiting your intention, reminding yourself, why are you here today? What's the goal? Feel whatever's beneath you, beneath your hips, your thighs, your feet. Where are your hands resting? Are they still palms up for receiving, or have they switched to being palmed down for more grounding and stability? Either way is okay. Notice where your feet are. Do your legs feel free, loose, easy, or have they become constricted? And can you encourage them to be a little less tight? Spread the toes. And then we'll bring the attention to the nose and the nostrils. Letting the nostrils really flare on the inhale. Really taking in as much air as you can and feeling into your nasal passages. Breathing into your cheeks and your forehead. For some people, you can really feel the air coming in, and for others, it'll be more of a visualization or what may be happening to the air. Either way is okay. Cold air comes in, warm air comes out. And then trace that down into the lungs. So up into the sinuses, down the trachea, left and right lungs. And let those lungs expand in 360 degrees. So if you are sitting with your back against something, see if you can feel the lungs expand into the chair behind you. See if you can feel the ribs expand to the left and to the right. Breathing fully. And perhaps more deeply than you normally would. We often take shallow breaths that kind of live in the chest. With these 360 breaths, we'll breathe in even more air than usual. And just let it out easy. Watching the back, dropping the shoulders. Watching the side ribs, feeling them expand. Letting the chest rise a little bit on the inhale. And letting the whole rib cage come back as you exhale. Visualizing this little exchange that happens in the lungs, where fresh oxygen goes into the bloodstream and carbon dioxide comes back to exhale. Our lungs are like solid sponges, lots of little pockets and places for the air to go, and loads of blood vessels where this exchange takes place. And the breath is one of the only places in the body where we can have automaticity. You don't have to remember to breathe. You can let your body breathe for you. Or like what we're doing now, we can be very intentional with the breath. We can breathe in deeply. We can expand the rib cage. We can watch the belly rise. We can breathe into the back. And we'll do one more like this. In through the sinuses, down the trachea, into the lungs, filling the front, the sides, the back. And a really long, slow exhale. Coming back to whatever feels natural, normal in your body. Feeling your feet on the ground. Feeling what's beneath you. Coming back to your intention. And it doesn't quite matter if you've met it 100%. That's not really the important part. The important part is, did I remember the intention? Is it kind of in the background? Is it something that I can come back to and say, oh yeah, I wanted to be relaxed, or oh yeah, I wanted to pay attention to my body. So it's not something we're gonna get perfect or do all the time. And the expectation to do so is just going to result in more stress. So think of it more as a little Post-it note that reminds you, oh yeah, I wanted to think about this. I wanted to change my thinking or reframe, or I did want to drop my shoulders, or oh, I did want to stop ruminating, whatever it is. And then we'll tuck the chin to the chest. Drop one shoulder down and the other shoulder down. Looking towards the left pocket. And then moving the head towards the right pocket. And coming back to neutral, and if your eyes are closed, you can generate a little bit of heat between the palms of your hands. Gently cover the eyes, blinking them open nice and slow and gently. Maybe give yourself a little head massage, a little temple massage. Coming back into the space. Thanks for practicing with me today.